Welcome, and thank you for joining me for What Does It Take to Be the Best Reiki Master? I'd like to start by creating an intention, shall we? Let's call in the divine to dissolve misalignment. Can you imagine a world where your healing was enhanced by spirituality? I'm so excited you're here today. How many of you would like to increase and revitalize your spirit with universal life energy? And how about harmonizing your mind, body, and spirit so you can discover the transformative power of hands-on healing? I'm a gerontologist with 20 plus years of experience as a Reiki master. And I want to congratulate you for joining me here today, since Reiki is a gift and a blessing, not only for the people who practice and share it with others, but also for yourself, because when you're sharing it with others, you're also transforming your own self. The benefits of being a Reiki practitioner, besides gaining the skills and confidence and developing a successful and sustainable Reiki business, is that you also get to experience personal growth and well-being. And you're creating a positive impact in the lives of others, as well as for your own transformation. And it doesn't get much better than that, if you ask me. How many of you would like to become more aware of your thoughts and feelings without judgment? How about harmonizing or detaching from stressful thoughts and emotions by allowing yourself to respond in situations with a much calmer way? So I have 3 things to tell you. That prioritizing your well-being is key to treating your body as a temple. Second, the importance of cleansing your body, mind, and spirit. And third is the power of intentions. As an educator for the California Board of Registered Nurses and the California State Legislature, I offer continuing education units for Reiki courses to nurses and medical professionals, as well as consumers. And I have taught in Reiki hospitals in their hospice programs, as well as to residential care facilities for the elderly. I'm a dementia specialist and with a nursing background. So I'd like to tell you a story. When I first got started 20 years ago as a Reiki practitioner, I had a student and she was pregnant, and she came to me, and when she had her baby, there was complications with the birth, and the baby was born with birth palsy because the doctor had to use forceps during the birth. And so one arm of the baby was paralyzed. Now, the doctors told her that they didn't know if the baby would ever get the use of his arm back, and that they could try surgery, but it would take at least 6 surgeries. And even then, they couldn't guarantee whether or not they would be able to, that the baby would get use of its arm back. So she asked me, could we try Reiki? Would Reiki help? And I said, I don't know, it can't hurt, let's try it. So I started doing Reiki treatments on the baby. I did 1 treatment every week for about 6 weeks. And in between, I had the mom give the baby Reiki every day as well during that 6-week period. And lo and behold, after 6 weeks, the baby got complete range of motion and complete use of his arm back. It was just really amazing, and it was such an incredible experience. And it was one of the many experiences that I've had over the years that really has inspired me to continue with this work and to become a teacher and to teach it, because it just set me on fire. And the Reiki energy has a way of doing that too, when you're working with that universal life force energy that we all have the capacity to work with. So how many of you would like your clients and students to have transformative experiences from your passionate practical skills as a Reiki master. As an educator for the California Board of Registered Nurses, I have worked, like I said, I've worked in many hospitals, and many hospitals are using Reiki practitioners now, especially in hospice and cancer clinics, because Reiki is most famous for pain relief. And a lot of insurance companies are also using Reiki or paying Reiki treatment for Reiki treatments from Reiki practitioners. So we really need more Reiki practitioners, and that's why, as an educator, I'm speaking on this subject today. Some of you may have heard or seen in years past the Dr. Oz show, where he had Reiki practitioners in his surgery rooms when he was doing his heart surgery. And there's been clinical studies that have proven that if Reiki is done before, during, and after surgery, that it speeds the recovery by 50%. So this is really exciting. So I ask you, how do we rise at being a cause for vibrational frequencies on the planet, for raising vibrational frequencies on the planet? I believe by responding with awareness, consciousness, and clarity. So I ask you, what culture do you want to be a part of? Because right now we are becoming immune to antibiotics, and alternative medicine is becoming mainstream as a result of our current dysfunctional healthcare system. The divine has placed a unique expression within each of us. So let's show up and expect miracles and surprises. How do we rise at being a cause? I'm going to say that again. How do we rise at being a cause? First, let's work on treating our body as a temple and having a mindfulness practice that helps cleanse our body, mind, and spirit. Then the universal life force energy will fill us up and give us more Reiki healing energy, because it opens our Hara line, which runs through from the heavens to the earth through the center of our being. And when we have a clean temple, it will fill that energy and enables us to hold more energy, more healing energy. And this is what creates more powerful healing treatments for ourselves and others. Second, we need to cleanse our mind's thoughts. And third is the power of intentions. And it's time to move forward with clarity of our intentions. The practice of intention, it's not only the practice of mindfulness when it comes to cleansing of our body, mind, and spirit, but also with our intentions. And in order to practice the highest vibrational frequencies of intention, we need to also cleanse our minds of fear, sadness, anger, scarcity, guilt, etc. In order for healing to occur, there must be a change in consciousness. This is why it's so important for practitioners to empty their minds and empty their mind's thoughts when they are practicing Reiki. And also, our mind should be in a state of clearing with no ego when we're practicing. And that ability is what makes for the best Reiki masters and improves the quality of lives. There was an agricultural study on the California Central Coast some years ago. They did an experiment. They had 3 plots of crops. The first crop, they did traditional farming methods, and they use pesticides and fertilizers. The second crop, they did applied Reiki intentions to the crop with intentions of growth and nutrients. And the third crop, they did not only the intentions of Reiki on the crop with intentions of growth and nutrients, but they also added Reiki to the water that they put on the crop with intentions of growth and nutrients. And the third crop was the one that created the most abundant and healthy harvest of the three crops. The one with the traditional farming had the least abundance and was not the healthiest harvest of the three crops. So that gives you an example of the power of intention and what our universal life force energy is capable of, that we all have access to. So what are 3 things that you can do to start becoming the best Reiki master today? I'd like everyone to rub your hands and really get a little heat going, and you can feel till you get that warm feeling between your hands, and then just open your hands just a very little bit and kind of open and close. And you should feel a little like static cling or like a little tingling sensation. And if you don't, that's okay too. But most people can feel this. That's kind of what the energy feels like if you're new to this. And you may have heard some other modalities like Tai Chi. They'll play with this energy. They'll make a ball and they'll throw it between each other. So that is first and foremost, you need to get in touch with your own energy and practice daily and know what it feels like. The second practice that I recommend is alternate nostril breathing for 6 minutes a day. This will help balance and cleanse your mind. And it's a very simple practice. You just put your right thumb over your right nostril and you breathe in for the count of 7. You hold it for the count of 7. Then you put your pinky finger over your left nostril, remove your right thumb, breathe out for the count of 7, hold for the count of 7, then place your thumb back over that nostril after you breathe in for the count of 7, and hold it for the count of 7, then you release for the count of 7, and then you just repeat that. Breathe in for the count of 7, hold for the count of 7, release for the count of 7, hold for the count of 7, breathe in for the count of 7, hold for the count of 7, release for the count of 7. So, and you just repeat that every day for 6 minutes. It's a 6-minute-a-day practice that can balance and cleanse your mind, and you'd be amazed and surprised what that simple little practice can do. The third thing that I recommend is Kundalini yoga. I've been practicing yoga since I was 16, and I started with Hatha yoga, and I did all kinds of asanas. Hatha yoga is probably the most common, but over 20 years ago when I started practicing Reiki, I started doing Kundalini yoga. Kundalini yoga is known more to complement the Reiki practice. So as a Reiki practitioner, I recommend that you practice Kundalini yoga because it incorporates the breath more. I believe energy medicine is the medicine of the future. Ultimately, the supreme secret to hands-on healing is love. If you bring love into everything you say and do, it melts hearts. So that's why I believe that I believe in Reiki as a way of life. So become a Reiki master and change your world.